Dwayne Akers walked inside of his dorm room, sat his keys on the dresser, and threw himself upon his bed. Studying for the chemistry exam atop of working long hours had taken its toll upon him, and he looked forward to a long sleep. After he was rested, he decided he would drive down to McDonald's to pick up a meal for himself. He didn't feel like cooking again. He had done it for 3 days straight. With the exam out of the way, he could concentrate on other matters. Matters such as the frat party that was to take place tomorrow. He had been invited by one of his friends to come with him and indulge in the pleasures that was to be had. Smokes, alcohol, beautiful women, the whole 9 yards. However, there was something, or rather someone, on his mind. Dwayne thought of himself as handsome, being a young man of 23, brown eyes and black hair. He had no problem with the ladies, and though he was not muscular, he knew he was not weak either. She also knew this as well. 3 months ago he had met a woman while shopping for his wardrobe at the mall. It was an accident bumping into her and knocking her belongings to the ground. When he knelt to pick them up, he got a look at her brown eyes and found himself entranced by them. Something right out of a romance movie. Now the two spoke regularly, and more he found himself asking. There was a knock at the door. Dwayne slowly got to his feet to answer. Upon opening the door, a Caucasian woman with long, chestnut hair and an athletic build walked into the dorm room. After shutting the door behind her and placing her coat upon the rack, she kissed Dwayne lightly and embraced him in a warm, tender hug which he returned. Upon release, the woman peered lovingly into his eyes.
"How are you, my love?"
Dwayne sat back onto his bed and groaned before he answered. "Tired, baby. Between work and exams, I've been quite drained."
"That is most unfortunate. I'll help you relax your mind."
The woman told Dwayne to turn around, and he did so. Once again, Dwayne's body instantly relaxed upon her touch, as if she knew exactly where to place her slender hands, exactly how to touch him. He found himself leaning against her body while her hands went to work upon his shoulders. Once she finished, Dwayne stood and felt rejuvenated. "I never get tired of your back rubs, Tara. How do you do it?" he asked happily. Tara smiled before she answered.
"I am a goddess of various things, my love. Now for the reason I am here. You sought to discuss a relationship, yes?"
Dwayne sat up to face her, his features turned serious yet cautious. "Yeah. Listen, Tara, I know you told me about how your husband often cheated before he died and all, but—" Tara placed a finger on his lips. She rarely spoke of her husband, so he did not broach upon the matter, as he saw that it angered her to think about him. He must have been a real jerk to her before he died.
"Shh. My previous marriage has nothing to do with us. His death was unfortunate, but because he had treated many with disrespect, he had reaped what he sown."
"You sound like you don't care."
"I do. The senseless deaths of people are not what I desire. He had an anger issue, and let's just say, thunderstruck when his anger was kindled. Now, Dwayne, do you have any more questions?"
There was one more question, a question he had meant to ask since his last relationship was a failure, and of no fault of his own. In fact, it happened twice since he first started college, and this time around, he intended to see if this woman was for real and could handle what society thought about couples of their sort. "Yes. And please don't think I'm comparing you to the other women I've dated. Can you handle a relationship with a black man?" At first there was silence as she considered his question. Dwayne started to feel as though he had offended her as he saw the incredulous look form on her beautiful features. She then brought a hand to her mouth and snickered to herself, causing more concern within the young man.
"Dwayne,"
she began, placing a hand upon his cheek.
"Your appearance and color matters not to me. I care not about the foolish views of man."
"Of man?" Dwayne asked incredulously.
"Of society, Dwayne. That is what I meant. Mankind was created from the same mold, Dwayne. Black, white, Asian, regardless of appearance, mankind is and always will be the same.
She then leans to his ear, and as she speaks, her lips brush against his lobe, her words in a seductive whisper.
I should know.
When she looked into his eyes again, she found confusion and unease within them. It wasn't what Tara had said about mankind, but how she had said it, as if she were present for the very day man was made. As he started to look away from her, Tara gently brought his gaze back to her own. She peered lovingly into his eyes as she continued.
So long as you are with me and are faithful to me, if anyone attempts harm upon you, upon us because of our,
another snicker,
racial appearance, as you call it, they shall have me to contend with. And on that day may Olympus help them.
Olympus, Dwayne said.
I am from Greece, my darling, or did I not tell you? You needn't worry about such foolishness from others, Dwayne. As I said, if anyone tries, they'll find that my wrath is not easily escapable. Do my words bring confidence of our love to you?
Dwayne wasn't sure how to respond, but he knew now that Tara wasn't leaving any time soon. He wasn't about to cheat on her, nor would he leave her, and yes, his confidence in their relationship was secured. Finally he responded, although he felt unease around her, considering what she had just said. Yeah, they do. I just want to make sure you weren't
one of them. No, Dwayne, I am far more than what they could ever hope to be. Cast any unease you may feel aside. You needn't be afraid, for only good can blossom from our love. Now it is time for bed, my beloved, and I can assure you, any woman you were previously with will pale in comparison to me. After tonight, you'll desire no other.
Their lips then pressed together. Her kiss was like honey in his mouth, and far better than anyone he'd been with. Who was this woman, and where did she come from? In the years that followed, their relationship only grew stronger, and Dwayne easily achieved his goals thanks to Tara's guidance and vast wisdom. Before long he graduated ahead of the class, and time seemed to just fly by. As she had said, Dwayne wanted no one else but Tara, and she showered him with knowledge, gifts, and love in ways no human could ever hope to match. It never occurred to him that Tara was very different from humankind, nor did he bother to ask. Some time later, she gave birth to their daughter Helen.